Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to the room 30. Let's continue. So it seems like every time we get into an area, we are going to try and find the thing you can read first more than anything. What is this place it says? I don't know. I don't know if I just got teleported from a castle to a different world or from a castle to a different castle. I can see that there's like a clock right here. The pyre has not cast its light in many a year. Ships need no beacon to warn them of this place. Travelers such as of ourselves, however, require such things to find their path. A light again, a light in the black. The way ahead is dark, a darkness even the blind can see. And I'm glad that you can't read any of these bits of dialogue with the lens, because that just eliminates the need to worry about that. We have what looks like a map of some island that we probably are on, and then there's a lot of flags with animals on them, which if this was a different world it would be weird to have flags with animals on them, assuming that they weren't placed here by the Craftsman. You have a bunch of books, and if this were a missed game, this would be a point where you could read all the books. I'm kind of glad. The name of the tower will reveal the way, which, okay, so we need to figure out the name of the tower. Like, honestly, after Myst 1 having so many books you could read, and the Myst series having, in general, just having so many books, and then Skyrim having so many books that you could read, it hit a certain point where I didn't want to read any more books. They're saying that's a wooden gear? I would kind of question that, but alright. All of these puzzles are totally built around the idea of a central object that you rotate around, which honestly would make more sense in VR than anything. If you were in VR and you didn't want to teleport yourself too much, although even in VR there's a question, I suppose, as far as how much of that really would work. So I'm just going to rotate this, and as I'm rotating it, the whole thing is going to turn into a castle. Game of Thrones style. Which, yeah. This was a conversation and a idea that could have been patented by the creators of the intro for the Game of Thrones TV series. That would have really sucked if they had done that. And it's questionable if they really would have deserved a patent there, because I can't inherently name some other time that I've seen a mechanical creation that was so intrinsic. We're missing a clock. I'm missing something here that's clearly designed to slide, I think. There's something on the face of this. Alright. So, what's the next thing that we try to do? This candle looks like it might be something, but apparently it isn't. That looks like it might be something, and it looks like that might be something. And it looks like there might be something hidden in the dark. So there must be something around this table. Do we see anything around the table? And they would make it fairly difficult on you if it turned into... Let's see what happens if we close that and then is there a way to lock this back together? No. I thought that maybe there was going to be a magic trick where a new item was there. Must be another section that sits atop of it. Yeah. And it clearly is probably a representation of that. But there's no lettering on the name of this tower. So how would I know the name of the tower? Alright, I found something. There's something strange about the doorway. Wear the eyepiece. We're still in tutorial mode. I'm surprised about that. Wow, it just like brought you inside a building that would be a model of a building. Apparently. That's weird. It's like a snake coiled up. So drag that way, drag that way, drag that way. Is that it? Or nope, it's rotate the whole thing two different ways. So you have a mechanical snake with a tongue, and then we found a magnet, which will be interesting to see what you do with the magnet. Can we do anything else in this area, or are we done? Okay. Yeah, this is definitely going to be more of a game where we do just solve it, and there's not going to be as much criticism. Because, yeah, I just don't think that there is a lot of room here. I think something's missing here. Yeah, I think I missed something in there. Otherwise, this game has gotten way more difficult than it was before. Like this door, for instance. Am I supposed to drag it? Like, if I was supposed to do something with the door, I don't get it. Why is it so centered around the table if there was maybe something else? But then what else do we do with the magnet? Yeah, there's nothing with the special eyepiece around this area. This feels very pixel hunty. I don't think you can do anything more with the snake. I don't think you can get over there. And then when you right click, you are out. So can't do anything with the compass, although that would make the most sense. I don't think we do anything with this. As far as put a magnet on this. I don't think we do anything with this. As far as put a magnet on this. There seems to be no way to put a magnet on this. What else did we see? Let's go back and read this. Did it say the name of this place? Pyre, P-Y-R-E, underlined. Stupid me. So they're just using the general descriptor of a pyre. So how do we do this? No. P. There's only one P. And Y is either going to be hit by this or by that. Okay. I see how this works. P, and then slide, and then this and this for Y, and then this and this for R. Now then we just need this and this for E. Now we have a carved wooden arc, which that'll certainly make things easier now. Let's see over here. Where do we think the wooden arc goes? I question if it goes there heavily. I would question if it was here. I'd question if it goes here. I'd question if this goes here. Carved wooden arc. It frankly looks like it's upside down. And a magnet. It looks like it's just a magnet. At a certain point, I think we might very well end up using hints just because there's enough possible locations and enough possibility that I'm simply not seeing the location that this item goes. Yeah, because I'm a little confused. So let's see what a tutorial hint looks like. because I think at chapter 2 we're going to end up using them. Like, I could add potentially hours and hours of effort to this if I'm not careful. And I just don't see a reason to do that. Alright, so let's see what a hint says. The wooden arc I found must fit something with space for its legs. And then you have like a timer now. But I haven't found anything with space for its legs. And that's really where this is going to potentially fall apart, is if we don't know where the thing goes because we just haven't seen where the thing is, then that's really a failure on the visual design or a failure on the player's part of just not being visually alert enough. Ah, there's a whole secret thing down here. A sphere suspended in a cradle. So I'm going to have to be more careful to look at the ground going forward. So it may very well have been that this sphere, which I think goes here, let's rotate that and spin that a lot, and that reshaped it. Now we have a magnet and a magnet. Okay, and that was all we needed. So a magnet. Now two magnets, but these items don't seem to interact with each other. So notice how slow these spin compared to that sphere suspended in the cradle did. So it gave me a magnet, which two magnets, I guess, are better than one. But we're still kind of stuck. And we don't even have a hint button at the moment. Alright, so hint again. The wooden arc must fit into something with space for its legs. You already gave me that hint. Yep. We can see that there's an arcway, a plus sign over here, that might indicate that the magnet is supposed to be over in that area. The circular panel on the map table with two square sockets. What circular panel with two square sockets? What are you talking about? Like, I see the compass. I see kind of a indicator. Where? Am I just stupid? It's far too early in a puzzle game to be asking yourself that question. Oh, here it is. Easily overlooked. No wonder I didn't see it. Okay. And that makes a Stonehenge type configuration that I can then teleport into. Hmm. Which I kind of like the idea here of shrinking yourself down and investigating things from a different perspective. Alright, so there's a symbol I need to draw, and I feel like the symbol probably is fairly complicated. I didn't mean to do that. Can we just double click in here? No, you have to have the lens on to double click in. Right. And yeah, there is kind of a problem. Okay. See, when you get to this point, you don't really get a choice, do you? So, this way, all the way across, down, and center. Let's try that. Hmm. Okay. So that lit up that one. And then the next one is just a figure 8. So that should be fairly easy to do. And then it's just kind of straight down and then all the way around to make a diamond. This puzzle felt a little glitchy, but not terrible. Now remember, this is a small scale thing that is going to, it would be fairly difficult to keep it in the right scale and size when we zoom back out. It seems to be a system here in which I don't know what we're trying to accomplish. It's like a combination, but I don't know what the combination is. See, and this can't go any higher, even though it seems like it should be able to go higher. You can go up 3 spots. And see, I don't know if this is supposed to be a balance, because it just kind of feels like the one on the left is just stronger than the one on the right. But they also seem to have a tendency to stay in the place that they're supposed to be. So need some kind of key to open this door. There's a lot of puzzle here. This, I assume, is some kind of magical rock. They have a whole bunch of constellations. And then like a hole. So that feels like that's the solution. I just don't know what the goal is. You can't double click on these other things. Right. Here's a puzzle that need to rotate. That one, and then rotate again. That one and that one. And inside we have a new wooden, what is this, wooden model piece they say we're calling it? Not puzzle box of some sort. This definitely is a game that feels like it is in part influenced by the Hellraiser series and the puzzle cube there, but they're not going as crazy with it, I think, as they probably could have. Yeah, I am uncertain what, like, there's no solution here, so unless the solution here was to try and find the North Star, which I don't know if you can really do that. Like, North Star should be at the tip of the Big Dipper, assuming that's the Big Dipper, and that's not the Big Dipper, which there are symbols on the side of this that you might spell something out with, but I haven't seen those symbols. So perhaps the idea is to leave, come over here, see if this fits on this, see that it doesn't, come over here, see if this fits on that, it doesn't, come over here, see if that fits on that, it does. And they're not gonna make it easy on you at this rate. Man, there's a lot here, and it does definitely feel like you have after this puzzle, you may have minimum four, I would guess. See, that's weird because that doesn't seem like it moves on its own. Like, I'm trying to drag it, and I had to click it multiple times until it says it looks like something goes in this cradle. Let's double check on this. Make sure that there's not something to interact with before we just completely ignore it. Yeah, it doesn't look like there is something interactable with that, which then definitely makes the argument that you should go back. The engraved glass plaques on the box inside the standing stones, they must mean something. It does definitely feel like they should try to make this more of a I'm just trying to look down here. I feel like they should make it a bit more linear. That you really shouldn't be able to leave an area until you've completely solved it. Okay, we have a snake, and a compass. And there's a clock face. Okay. Yeah, we are definitely running into this situation where let's see. I don't see anything other than a dot here, a dot here, a dot here, and no dot mentioned at the top at all. So I guess maybe that is the solution to this. So let's see. This way, this way. I hope that this is more of a system that automatically does it. Okay. Well then, let's just flip all of these and see if we can do this. Yeah, if that was gonna work, it would have. So then let's go the other direction, and let's see if maybe this will do it. See, I don't see another place with two symbols. It's the weird part on this. So where is the other? Yeah, it's a dot here, dot here, dot here, and a dot in the center. If we took this off, could there be a different pattern? I mean, I could say try this pattern, which doesn't even line up. We got it halfway open. So what did we miss? It was... Do we maybe just do it twice? That opens that. How would you rotate that 90 degrees? You have two dots on this side. And then you would do this and that. And then you would do that and that. And that would be it rotated 90 degrees. And if I was going to flip it, then it's going to be fairly difficult to do that. Like that. And if I was going to do that, and if I was going to say do that, like that feels like I've tried all the patterns that make sense. It's like little ghost bits of dust floating around. Let's click this. Clock face looks like something I've found in a part of the larger model. Yeah, it does seem like you're just gonna have to jump around quite a lot. Doesn't seem like you can rotate the clock face in the current state. Seems like you have to put it here, and then it rotates. And then you have a magical secondary location you can go to. And we have an owl, or maybe more commonly known as a hoot owl. Right. That lifted his head, which I feel like several parts of this body is going to slide apart when you click on them. Nope. Nope, it was all about rotating his head. And now we have a model boat. And is there anything else in this area, in this world? I don't think there is. They did a lot of designing, certainly, it seems, but for not so much use. We are certainly jumping around a lot, and I'm not sure if I like that or if I don't. It feels like what they're trying to do here is substitute the idea of solving puzzles and making puzzles with the idea of just having more movement and action in the game. I'm not sure I completely hate that as an idea. Each of these animals, by the way, seems to be representative of one of the animals in the banners, which we opened a bunch of banners on a family tree, a tree of family crests before. Key. Now that's weird because we don't have a keyhole. Not that I recall. Like there was no keyhole over here. If there is a keyhole, I've totally forgotten about it. So, the engraved brass plaques on the box inside the standing stone, they must mean something. So we're clearly still not done with this part. Oh, there was a keyhole in there, wasn't there? It was here. Although in all fairness, we have a key, and we have a thing that doesn't really look like a keyhole. Is there something else with a keyhole? Are there possibly two keyholes? No. And so you kind of just expect this to work when you drag it, but it's not working. The symbol plaque near the drawer at the bottom of the box and another on one of its pillars. Okay. That's the trick. I did not see any symbols on the pillars, and I don't still see any symbols on the pillars. Where are you hiding? Must be down here. There's one on the pillars. I don't see any symbols. Okay, wait, here's one. So it's X with a backwards D and a spiral. Okay. It does seem like we are going to run into a lot of situations like that. Alright, so it's left, then right, right, then middle. A lot of opportunity to just miss things. Alright, so left, then go all the way up, and then do this, this, and that. And by the time I found the second symbols, I had figured out how the magnets worked. And we have yet another piece. And we'll just look at it before we go anywhere else. There is a keyhole, but it's not going to let us use it until later. So just right click, right click, right click. Right click one more time. Drag this over to that. That caused the entire floor to lift up. Which is interesting because that does imply that we've guaranteed that we've done everything in the previous room. It also means that this room is going to be fairly large because we went up one floor, and in going up one floor we have we moved the model up one floor, and it moved us up one floor. You know, we have what looks like a scuba diving headpiece, although it's shooting out steam. Now we have an antler. That's very natural. The rocks of this island have always had a taste for blood. They're tenacious. This tenacious aquanaut thought his science would be proof against them. I hope his curiosity into my affairs is now satisfied. So, I don't know if there's a skull in there or not. How does one swing that open? Seems like you would unscrew the thing, which would mean you would have to swing these parts up, which, unless you're supposed to be using the antlers for that, to brute force that, That seems like that needs a tool. There's a lot of things here that look like you could just hand screw and unscrew them, and doesn't seem like that's the case. 228 might be an important code. Now we have a small brass rivet and a symbol. What else is there to see? Can we look out any of the windows? No. Has the table changed any? Can we do a full 360 around the world? Yes. We know that there's a keyhole, so put that in there. Rotate that. It looks like we're going to go a little longer because we're still in chapter 2, and unless this is just a case of the entirety of the game being mostly in chapter 2 and there's only actually 3 acts, then I don't know what's going on here. This seems like you have to kind of put this puppet person back together to make this model of the model. And little whisks of dust as an effect. I don't know if I agree with that. Seriously, we're going inside a model, inside a model. Interesting. So it's like you're going into different alternate realities or versions. This definitely does feel slightly reminiscent of Myst, if you were going to take the general idea of Myst and simplify it and make it for cell phones. Kind of simplify the interactions and make it so that the puzzles themselves are not anywhere as unique. Like every Myst island, every Myst puzzle had a fairly different type of challenge to it. You just don't have that in this case. It's kind of the same things in the fact that they're simple and in the fact that you're mostly just clicking and twisting things. Small brass rivet. I think that is what goes in there. Some way of illuminating the lamp. So we're supposed to illuminate it. And we'll try the small brass rivet while we're here. I feel like there would be kind of no reason to go back to most of these areas, but it seems like they let you do that. It definitely opens up a dangerous precedent that you might end up having to go back to places where you've already been. Okay. Here's a rivet. So the rivet was a secret key. And we've now a metal acorn. And a light switch. and a wooden model piece. Is there anything more over here? Barometer with no pointer. So that's yet another thing. Okay. Metal acorn or a piece of the map. It looks like it's an observatory of some sort. I just right-clicked there myself on accident. Alright. So we've got to line that up with that. And then in we go. And we're at like 50 minutes. If we go over an hour, I think at that point we need to think about breaking up this episode. Alright, his legs should swing down. This should go that way. That should go that way. Like these aren't even really puzzles. They're just little interactable things. Which, in fairness, compared to the 3D interactable toys in like Myst, where you'd pick up something and you'd be able to rotate it around and look at it, but it really didn't do anything. There is an improvement in having them actually hold a key, but I wouldn't say by much of an improvement. So we need the sideways S, the diamond, the T of diamonds, and then 3 rainbows. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Where's the sideways S? It's over here. Sideways S. Then T of diamonds. And then the rainbows. Oh, you're just supposed to stop on all of them, aren't you? Okay. Alright, well, let's see if we can do this faster. I thought it was more of a combination lock than it really was. Now we have a copper tap. Yeah, we're collecting quite a lot of things, but they do seem to mostly very wisely not have you actually use all of those things at the same time. A copper tap. Well, it doesn't seem like it fits there. Is there something down here or on one of these rivets? It's over here on this side. Okay. What's the trick here? I guess that was the trick there. And there was water in the skull and a crystal file. Yeah, we saw that coming. Oh, you should have seen that coming. At least the potential there was very high that there was going to be kind of a spooky element. Of course, if this crystal file does not fit in here, then we have an interesting situation where we have an acorn, an antler, and a crystal file. And not anywhere else to really put it. Alright. The acorn opens up and is a screw of some sort. Cool. This antler feels like it might be twistable and adjustable, but I'm not actually seeing anything like that. Right, so where does this, where would that go? Because we have this. And it's open now. But we kind of don't have a place where it goes. Let's click here. The painting of a tree on the side of the box in the standing stones. Wow, it really wants us to jump back to that area quite a lot. Down this way, down this way. So this part. I guess the acorn and the tree do make some sense. But it definitely does also feel like this should have been its own separate puzzle and not connected. Alright. I'm just trying to mirror the antlers, not that deer antlers actually mirror themselves too well. Like in real deers, they don't, I don't think they have a tendency to do that. And it's just, stone must have been used to crush something for some kind of ritual. Oh really? Well then let's crush the file. And then you get like a blood-like symbol on the top of it. Now we have a glowing gemstone. Okay. Then right click, right click, right click. Instead of having to use the Oculus to get into this area, I would have used a lot more of this table to bring up this secondary puzzle piece, and I would have almost certainly eliminated 3 or 4 clicks to zoom in and zoom out, particularly when you think about the average player who isn't going to get the solutions on the first try. There would almost certainly be a lot of mistakes that would be made. Now the whole table is sinking downward, and yet it seems like I stepped back and now I'm taking a different elevator. So I guess the character I'm playing as is a little bit smarter than the average person, I guess, because he was not tricked into being sent back downward. And it seems like we're skipping a whole level, which maybe we are, maybe we aren't. And we can look around as it's moving, I suppose. Now we have a lighthouse, which I thought that was the lighthouse, but I guess we were in the lighthouse the whole time. And insert your obligatory BioShock Infinite, a lighthouse reference. This quality pyre service founded in 1864. Like almost certainly you're just gonna stick that in there. I guess the real question just becomes, can you open it? Or what does it take to open it? Alright, so we just need to do this and this, and then we need to just figure out which cage is the right cage. I see what we're supposed to do. You let this one go now, and then rotate it around until you're there, and now you can reach in and place the glowing lantern part. And it took camera control away from me, which I'm happy for that. And it handed me another triangle, and we're getting flashes and magical teleportation. Scaling the lighthouse was quite the feat, though its beam may now illuminate troubles that come, they remain yours to shoulder. And see, that did feel like we turned on a lighthouse, so we only teleported a very short distance, whereas I guess we'll teleport to a longer distance later on. There certainly is something to be said about the idea of having puzzles all be somewhat on the same island and somewhat near the same places. That way you're just not running into the missed problem of going to completely different ages. I feel like also in the second game there was a high level of really feeling like you were just getting teleported to a different game completely. At one point we were in something that felt like an ancient Egypt location, and at other times we felt like we were in a like Sherlock Holmes time frame. So maybe we'll have a little bit more consistency. Maybe they're trying to address that. That was a fairly long chapter though, so it looks like we're going to have about hour-long episodes at this rate, if we do one chapter per episode. And I don't want to stretch it, so that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.